Sachsenring, didn't they? And look at the gap then with the chasers. They are on it. That's no surprise.
Yeah, as you say, it's all concertinaed up very much, hasn't it? There's only Uriarte who takes the lead again. David Gonzalez in second place. You're looking...
Gonna catch them, I think, Peter. It was 0.6 of a second.
You know, a couple of seconds covering the top 19 or so. Carter Thompson back from Uriarte at the number 11 of Gonzalez. Then the...
as they come across the first intermediate split there, so I think that's it. The lead up into 12th place yesterday, he finished up in 6th position. That is a really, really good...
95 of Marco Morelli.
Been caught officially. Fastest rider on track is that rider there, number 7 ride from the Australian, up from 12th position. He was there, said it's alright. Up the climb they come, across the start finish line again. 9 laps to go this time around. Benyat Fernandez,
and of course that group of 5 punches a big hole in the air, and that drags the other.
It is anything less than a podium is not satisfactory for Carter.
No, indeed.
Pratama getting bullied all over the place, Peter. He was 13th crossing the line that time around, but just jumped
the guys into the slipstream very effectively. So it's Brian Uriarte who takes up the lead from Veda. Needs to just have that great result at the end of the season that he's he had some really super.
Into 11th place as we look in towards turn 1 again. Goodness me, a lot of riders got close.
Pratama
so heavy on the brakes, and it's really steep downhill into turn 4 there. You can see
wins, and of course a winner in race 2, so he's got to get back to that sort of form.
The step up a bit too close for comfort into turn 1 there, flicking it left down here and then right. The rear wheel of Uriarte is just popping off the ground momentarily, as they now the Carter Thompson's made this year has been very, very noticeable. Australia certainly has. And again into the Omega curve.
I wonder if these guys, some of the brights
come into the fast and sweeping section as Guillaume Plomb, first rider to have another name to cheer for in the future in World Championships.
Of course, it's his 3rd season, so Bucks are saving tyres a bit, because in qualifying the first pole and 2nd quickest.
A long lap penalty for exceeding track limits. He's in 20th spot at the moment. That'll move him down likely.
He will not be back in the Rookies Cup next season.
Not another Holmes has gone down.
Was set, I think, lap 3 or 4, and this is a 19-lap race. So
fast.
Right, and as you were talking about, using up your tyres too much.
That is such a shame. That is not the way he wants to sign off from his 2nd year in rookie.
I wonder if someone like Uriarte just doesn't want to try the big breakaway because he needs enough. Pirellis are really superb tyres. They do drop off. The performance does fade away slightly, but
he's Joel Pons, one of the loveliest characters that we have.
But it's his 6th fall in a race in the Rookies Cup. He's going to need tyres left at the end.
Down the bottom of the hill they cut.
Very, very predictable. So the guys can feel what's happening, and usually it's this season. So back with the leader then. It is Brian Uriarte, the cap champ.
And the big climb up starts again. Gonzalez looking for the lead this time. He looks up the...
He doesn't give them any nasty surprises. It's Brian Uriarte that leads, but up the inside now, it's been ahead of the number 11 of David Gonzalez.
David Gonzalez 2nd side, but Uriarte says no, I'm going to start drilling the pace now. Personal best last time around. Pugliese 3rd, Pratama, then Dinesh in 5th place. Malaysia.
David Gonzalez there on the number 11 into 2nd place.
I think I saw Christian Daniel for the Santander rider, by far the quickest rider on track actually. It was half a second quicker than everybody versus Indonesia for 2nd in the championship. We remind you, 1 point between them.
Elbows
pushing Marco Morelli rather wide there in towards the penultimate turn, and there we have the else that time around pretty well.
They fan out across the track. Who's late on the brakes? Uriarte is really out.
Literally, yeah.
Okay, so Brian still has the advantage, but up in the 2nd place.
Weaving riders trying to avoid the other riders catching too much of a slipstream. Morelli up the inside of Daniel again.
Really good into the left-hander at the bottom of the hill. That's where he passed Ramadiza to win Pugliese.
And Dinesh moves up on Pratama there into turn 1. A very nice tight, slots it there, goes a little bit wide onto the green then, so he might himself have a track limits war
today, and he's absolutely superb, and of course it's so crucial, but he's lost Danish now the lead.
The clean move from the Malaysian then, really nice indeed. Morning, but they have officially been caught by the others. They've now got Karpushin on their tail. Karpushin moving up the inside, potentially.
To the number 17, the white helmeted Yaroslav Karpushin. He comes alongside it side by side. Oh my goodness gracious me, and those damp patches, it's still cool of course. Those
certainly of Morelli, but also potentially Daniel as well, not quite, as we see Morelli get pushed wide.
Uriarte and Karpushin now, as there are just 8 laps remaining. We've gone past half distance. Damp patches are hanging around, but there's mostly a dry line, but you just got to be careful you don't get offline.
Right now by Benyat Fernandez moving up the inside. Danish side by side with Morelli. Well, this leading group now has become...
Maybe that limits some of the overtaking possibilities.
Pugliese had a big moment on the exit of turn. In the background too.
So, Uriarte leads from Gonzalez. I wonder...
About 17 riders worth. The only riders not in it, Armon and Yane. 6 there, loses a bunch of places. Danish then into second place, ahead of Pratama then.
So now if Gonzalez has got with the fellow Spanish one, if the two Spanish can make a break.
And Danish at the moment then. So it's in a massive leading group. So it's 1, 2, 3 in the championship, 1, 2, 3 in the race, but off along as Matani gets sideways.
For it, they've got the slightest advantage over Veda Pratama in third place.
But they were half a second to the sort of lap times they were putting in qualifying and things though. This is sort of lap times. He's into turn 8 then, moving up into 4th position, the Japanese rider. How about this as an advert? Slower last time around than Karpushin, Peter, the Yugoslavian rider that we were seeing in free practice 2 actually, Peter.
Well, with the worn tyres.
Exactly.
Yeah, with the worn tyres.
For the Asia Talent Cup, 3, 2, 3 and 4 Asia Talent Cup graduates.
Yeah.
Kyrgyzstani rider, sorry.
Yeah, look at this stuff, side by side. So they use for practices, free practices.
Qualifying
1 and 2.
a 1:28.0 from Leon.
Great stuff, and it is the 54 now that takes up the second place Veda Pratama. And hard on the brakes, the back end of the KTM hopping around there as Brian
from Karpushin. So yes, the tyres distinctly a bit more worn now.
Of course, as things finish like this, he would take second place back. Turns it into the first right-hander. And Agostinelli. Yes, indeed. Okay, there he is, talking of Karpushin, the pole man. There he is heading the pack. And Hakim Danish in the cup points.
I should also correct myself. Those are the 3 Asia Talent Cup champions. The last